Make sure you add Masti to your lives. Download the app today and stay energized and connected on the go. Radio Masti 24/7 Live, Singapore's only Bollywood radio since 2009. Oh yeah.
Hello, hi, welcome, namaste. कैसे हो आप सब? A very warm welcome to each one of you. मैं एक quote के साथ शुरू करना चाहती हूँ that the stage is not merely the meeting place of all the arts, but is also the return of art to life. That's a quote by Oscar, the great Oscar Wilde. A very warm welcome one more time to Masti AVI, and yes, we are here today. एक exclusive conversation के साथ मैं यहाँ पर आई हूँ about these beautiful art forms, dance and theatre, coming together to take our heart away, and especially during the times जहाँ पे हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा miss कर रहे हैं. We are missing all those wonderfully curated events, aren't we? So I don't think that we have to wait anymore, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है, I always say that art जो है ना always finds a way to reach us some way or the other. So well, और इसीलिए Apsaras Arts Dance Company जो है वो वाइल्ड राइड के साथ में आने वाले हैं एक कहानी बताने के लिए. They are going to take storytelling to another level. AGATHI. Okay, AGATHI, Refugee. क्या होने वाला है? Theatre है, poetry है, and there's a classical Indian dance form जिसको हम सभी जानते हैं, भरतनाट्यम. बिल्कुल पहली बार ऐसा एक कोलैबोरेशन हो रहा है सिंगापुर में, जहाँ पे दो प्रीमियर सिंगापुर डांस थिएटर प्रोडक्शन कंपनीज जो है, they are coming together to kind of reimagine this work on the plight and tribulations of global refugees in a new adaptation. क्या होता है एक रेफ्यूजी के साथ? क्या होती है उसकी जर्नी? It's inventive, it's thrilling, and it's going to be all live. That's right, all live, and you can watch it. And how? That is why we are here today, isn't it? And to know more about it, without wasting any more time, this evening, joining me today are two very important gentlemen. AGATHI Refugee के creative team से. First of all, I would like to welcome someone, Joki, who since 2005 has led Apsaras Arts as artistic and managing director, Mr. Aravinth Kumaraswamy, who is also a National Youth Artist Award recipient and someone who has been a prominent figure in the arena of international Indian arts community in Singapore. The man who conceptualized and directed AGATHI. So get ready to welcome Bilkul. Hi, Kirti. Bilkul, just wait and watch, and you will find it very interesting. And by the end of this conversation, I am sure that आप सभी इस event के लिए जरूर जाओगे. So let me welcome Mr. Aravinth Kumaraswamy. Welcome to Masti AVI.
Thank you, Antara. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here on your station.
Pleasure is all ours, sir. So I was talking about Aravinth, and I was also reading about this upcoming live dance theatre production, AGATHI, Refugee. And I also got to know that it's actually inspired from your own life experience. So why don't you tell us something more about that, and of course the upcoming production and how it is being reimagined?
So AGATHI, it's a word in Tamil language, means refugee.
Yes.
Okay. It's actually got its Sanskrit roots, Gati, AGATHI, right? So that's it's a Sanskrit word, and it tells a story internationally, the story of refugees from any part of the world. Right. But when I was a teenager, I had the experience of being a refugee myself. And going to a refugee camp, and the entire experience of being displaced. So right. When we are creating this work, my personal experience helps to put the flesh and skin onto the story that we are doing. So obviously it's not a biography. It is a work that's been inspired by refugee children from all over the world who have written lovely poems about their experience, which has been published by UNHCR. So that's our base inspiration. But of course, my personal duty helps my team to understand, and I tell them anecdotes. I tell them how it is really to be a refugee. So yes, so this is the work behind that we are now getting ready, reimagining this. Yes.
That is true as well, right? Until and unless you get that realistic feel only comes from people who have actually experienced or gone through those times, and that is how you get the correct emotion which is going to be portrayed. And it's even more difficult, like theatre and dance coming together to portray the emotion and to make sure that it reaches the audience is a big deal.
Yeah, actually, it's a very difficult emotion to understand, because even for me, one day we were all living happily ever after, and then once something happens, and within hours you become a refugee, right?
Right.
So it could be either a civil commotion or an earthquake or a tsunami. Anything can happen, and it can
Right.
take 30 minutes, and then you are nobody, you are nowhere, you have nothing, you have no house, so it can happen, and you don't know how to feel that emotion. So it is a very challenging, and of course storytelling is what we do as art form, so we try to
Absolutely.
gather enough stories from many people and try to tell a story beautifully.
That's amazing. So, Agathi, I know, has premiered in Esplanade, Singapore, I think back then in 2017, and then you have toured all over the world as well. This is going to get some new flavor. So, what is that new flavor? And if I can put it this way, that what the audience should expect when they are going to watch this, what should they expect?
So actually, this time we are also very excited, because it's almost like a new work, reimagining what we did before. So there are several things that are inspiring us. First is the space. We are going to be performing for the very first time at the Neon Concert Theatre of World Rise. It's a thrust stage, which is structured very differently. The audience are very intimate. They are almost surrounding you. It's almost like where Bharatanatyam started many centuries ago, in a small temple where audience was surrounding the dancer and watching it. So we're going to have that kind of feeling of audience
Wow.
being very intimate. So that's a very important, significant change that we're going to do this time. A second is, of course, we have been fortunate to have Ivan, who's a dramaturg in this. So because it's got theatrical elements, we have the best theater expert to dramatize this,
Absolutely.
and so these are the critical changes, but it's actually very going to give it a new flavor, new color, and a new experience. So even those people who have watched before are all wanting to come back, because it's going to be different.
Absolutely right. And because you have already made rounds for the next, like Mr. Ivan. Who is this Mr. Ivan? How and he has actually kind of got around this whole, and how I have a lot of questions from him as well, because I'm sure that Bharatanatyam as a classical Indian dance form, it might be a new arena for him as well. So,
Yes, yes,
what do you say? Let's call him.
yes. Let's have Ivan in the conversation.
Yes, sure.
Make sure you add Musty to your lives. Download the app today and stay energized and connected on the go. Radio Musty 24/7 Live, Singapore's only Bollywood radio since 2009. Oh yeah.
And we have the Ivan on the screen over here. So let me give a brief and quick introduction about the very adorable Ivan, the very vibrant Ivan. And since morning, I have been chatting a lot with him about a lot of things, because we are very chatty people, two very chatty people. So
Hello,
Ivan, you
Adara.
have directed, you have acted, you have designed many landmark Singapore theatre productions, and now Wild Ride was founded by you. It's coming up with this amazing collaboration with Apsaras Dance Company, and being the dramaturg, you have
Yes.
done anyways a plenty of work. And the theatre, by the way, behind you looks amazing.
Yes, that's
I
where
can almost feel that
we're
you are
performing.
Mm.
Yes. I put a background on just in honor of Apsaras Arts and Aravinth and this production,
you.
because this is where the show is happening. Yes.
This is looking
Yeah.
beautiful. I will come to the question next, that what is the thrust stage, because everybody has been talking about it, but everybody
Yes.
also needs to understand the concept of what is the thrust stage and why we call that a thrust stage. So,
Yes.
Ivan, welcome to Masti AGI. It's the audiovisual platform of Radio Masti 24/7 Live, and it's very nice to have you both gentlemen today on this conversation. What I wanted to know was, is this the first time that you have stepped in something like this? Such showcase of Indian classical dance theatre, and that's
Yes.
in the Neon Concert Theatre here in Penang.
Yes, this will be the first time Indian classical dance, Bharatanatyam, will be performed on our stage. Yes, we're very, very much looking forward to it. I mean, when we designed the thrust stage, and probably this is the time to talk about what is a thrust stage.
Right.
It is a stage which is, thrust into the audience, where the actors are thrust into the audience, where the action is, where the action is surrounded on three sides. So
Right.
as you can see, I mean, the audience actually around, yeah. And in this particular theater, every single seat is a great seat. And I think that it's very, very interesting because you get to see the action, all the dancers from a kind of, a kind of more 3D way rather than flat, you see?
Right.
And so and Aravinth and Priyan, the choreographer, have also been reimagining this work so that they not only face front, but I think it's pretty, for me, I mean, I act as well. And as a performer, I find performing on the thrust stage very electrifying because you're acting with every single profile of your body. So not just the front, but also the back and your side, because the audience is all around you. Yeah.
And that is why the whole concept of being like this.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Antara, I think for Indian dance is very, very exciting, this thrust stage, because our dance is full of emotions, expression. Emotions also can be seen on the shoulders, on the back, and you can see every hand gestures. But wait, you can see every single toe of the feet as well, because the feet is at the eye level of the audience. So it's amazing. It's going to be an amazing show.
And I'm sure that Ivan had a very good time, because I can see in the pictures, as we can see, Ivan is having a lot of time looking at those new forms and the mudras. And Ivan, how was the experience?
I enjoy it very much. I love being in a room where the energy is creative. This work is an award-winning work that already toured, the UK, it's toured India, Paris, Salzburg, but it's I think Aravind and I like to describe it as a COVID baby.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I was scrolling through our WhatsApp conversations, and actually it began when Singapore went into lockdown, and as artists, we were just saying, like, how do we, what shall we do when we actually return to some kind of normalcy? And I think it's just born out of the desire to work with each other. And yes, and so Aravind sent me this some clips of the show that had been done. And what excited me was that there was also a text that was written by Audrey Pereira, which is in English, and it's theatrical, So with some advice from Alfian Saad, also a script, a consultant, and one of Singapore's foremost playwrights, Audrey has tooled a very special dramatic script about this woman who we call Jyoti, on her journey where, life was completely normal and she's actually living a very beatific experience before, she is compelled to leave home because of political turmoil. And we follow her journey. So this part of the production is actually performed in English. With Tamil subtitles. So so the play is performed it's a bilingual production, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bilingual production. Yeah.
It's English as well as. So how challenging was it to reimagine or kind of reinventing such a beautiful production? Agathi has already done it, but I think you had a bigger responsibility of kind of, how to bring it up for the Singapore audience.
Yeah. I think we're interested in storytelling. And so, as a dramaturg, I think the job is to kind of really clarify the story. I think it's always about clarity and polishing the different facets and kind of, we've kind of been tinkering and toying with the sequence in which, these elements come together. So there's poetry, there's songs from, the movies, there's this English text, and of course there's the dance. So, it's been kind of, how do we reimagine? How do we tell this story? How do we keep an audience interested and entertained and inspired and charmed? And, that has been the task. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. This sounds very, very interesting. And it's the very first time that two of the very premier Singapore dance and theatre productions, you're going to get together, and
Yes.
you are going to present this. And this
Yes.
and even more special because everything is going to be live, like there are no retakes. It's
Yes.
it's even more difficult. How much
Yes.
you have just up the scale like anything.
It's,
Well, I think that it's been so all theaters in Singapore have been shut.
I know.
So, we've just recently reopened very slowly because obviously safety always comes first. Health and safety always comes first. So, our theater has been certified COVID safe. So there are, and it's amazing. We've had quite a few shows there at Wild Rice, and you find that the performers are giving their all, and this is what I find in rehearsals. I know that with the Apsaras Dance Company, you can see that the dancers are already rehearsing with the fact that there is going to be their first live audience in a year.
In a year. Big thing for them as well.
So it's very precious, and I
yeah.
think you can count on them giving their all. Yeah, and for an audience too. I mean, I think we've
Absolutely.
all been watching our
We
screens.
have been missing it.
Yeah,
We have been missing it, like totally missing it. I was telling
Yeah.
Ivan that before we got into the live conversation that how much we were missing the whole event feel of it, going somewhere, sitting there, watching a live performance. It's
Yeah.
a big thing and it's a journey, it's an experience. And Agathi is an experience which you have to experience live, otherwise you will not get the sense of it and not get the emotion of it to the crust of it. Aravind, before we wrap up our conversation for today, what do you want to tell everybody out there, to the audience who are watching you and who will watch later as well? What would you like to tell them that when they go to watch Agathi and what should be these things? What are the top three things you want to say to them?
Actually, I think I would like to just extend what we just said as one of the top three things is that it's been a while for both our audiences and the artists to have a
Right.
live experience. So please come. You can hear, finally, after a year, you can hear the breath of the artists. You can hear them breathe. And we could hear your applause. And that will, hearing a live applause will energize the dancers and make them perform much more better. So nothing can take away. But you know what? The best thing, it's so great to be in this venue, which is so intimate and close. So that experience will be very precious after a long time in this beautiful space. And the last thing is that, coming together of two companies shows the Singapore spirit. So we have come together. We are trying all our best. Ivan and I are trying all our best to overcome this pandemic and let art come out and heal people. So I think that's very important. So join us in this in this union of coming togetherness. That's what I would like to say.
I tell art is the only thing which can actually kind of bond all of us together during these uncertain times and during this
Yes.
time. So,
Yes.
well, I want to tell everyone that there are going to be 6 shows, which is the Good Friday weekend. So you can plan it right away. All you got to do is from 2nd to 4th of April, which is Friday to Sunday, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. daily. And already the ticket sales have started. So that's where you've got to go. And there's an exclusive code for all the Radio Masti 24/7 people. You get, if you type in radio, RADIO 10, radio 10, you get the 10% off whichever category tickets you buy. And it's valid from today till Thursday, which is 18th of March. And on that note, I really want to thank Aravinth Kumaraswamy and Ivan Heng, and all the best. Really, really looking forward. In fact, after talking so much about it, the next thing I'm going to do is log on to this thing.
Yes, and use the promo code.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much, Antara. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. We look forward to welcoming you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Glenn.
Wow.
So that was Ivan, and that was Aravinth Kumaraswamy. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing which is going to happen. So make sure that away and watch AGATHI Refugee and just experience the whole thing. It's dance, it's theatre, it's going to come together, and the marriage of both, it is just precious. It's been so long that हम लोग ने यार कुछ भी नहीं देखा हुआ है इस तरह से, and उसके बाद जब हम लोग अब कुछ देखने वाले हैं और वो ऐसा precious कुछ होगा, it is going to be out of this world. So yes, before I leave, a short glimpse of the team, the whole team. In fact, we only had Ivan and Aravinth today over here, but I think it's a teamwork, and we should all just take a look at that.
AGATHI tells a tale as old as time, the story of how people have been forced to flee their homes and how they make a new home and a new life for themselves. Aravinth and I started thinking about doing something at the Ngian Kongsi Theatre when we opened. He proposed that we tell this story because I think the Rohingya was very much in the news over the past few years.
Apsaras Arts has been pushing the boundaries of Bharatanatyam to make it an ensemble choreographic work. AGATHI gives voice to the young children, refugee children who told their stories in the book of poems. Ivan has been a role model for many Singaporean art makers, and I am truly honored to have this opportunity to work with him on this retelling the story of AGATHI.
AGATHI is a powerful work created with the core principles of Bharatanatyam with a contemporary approach. This production has adopted a vast space for the explorations of human emotion. We have used Satvika Abhinaya, the heart of Bharatanatyam, as our centerpiece. And this time we are very excited. We have Ivan Heng on the team who is guiding and bringing new elements to our production.
We've been working and trying to think about how to retell the story. My job as a dramaturg is to help reimagine this work for the Ngian Kongsi Theatre, the thrust stage, which basically is a theatre that is wrapped around by audiences on three sides. It's a very intimate experience. We've had chamber music here, opera, and of course theatre. But I'm really excited that we are going to have the Bharatanatyam here at our theatre.
In Singapore, bringing the story back after a tour to our very own audiences, it's a pleasure.
That's right, and that's what you have to do. You go to Systec and book your tickets right away. Hello, Lalita ji, and Vidya, thank you so much. She was always there, also a part of the team. Yes, it was fun, totally. So thank you so much. I gotta go now, and I will see you very very soon again. But अभी के लिए आप ये कर सकते हैं कि आप ट्यून इन करिए रेडियो मस्ती 24/7 लाइव पर, बिकॉज शुरू होने वाला है मस्ती वॉइस आपकी चॉइस, व्हिच मींस रिक्वेस्ट शो. क्या कर रहे हो? रिक्वेस्ट किया आज के गाने नहीं किए, आपका टाइम है. Till then, bye bye and take care. I'm signing off.
Make sure you add Masti to your lives. Download the app today and stay energized and connected on the go. Radio Masti 24/7 Live, Singapore's only Bollywood radio since 2009.
Oh yeah.